The NASCAR world is in shock tonight after reports confirm that two-time Cup Series champion has died at the age of 41 following what his family described earlier in the day as a severe illness. According to statements released by NASCAR and Richard Childress Racing, Busch had been hospitalized before the heartbreaking announcement of his passing. For millions of racing fans, this feels impossible to process. Kyle Busch was one of the most talented, controversial, and successful drivers of the modern NASCAR era. Whether fans loved him or hated him, everybody respected what he could do behind the wheel. Now, the biggest question spreading across social media is simple. How did Kyle Busch die? Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share for more updates. Thanks. At this moment, officials and the family have not publicly released an exact cause of death. Earlier reports only stated that Busch had been hospitalized with a severe illness before his condition rapidly worsened. NASCAR later confirmed his death Thursday evening. Kyle Busch was born on May 2, 1985, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Racing was part of his life from the very beginning. He grew up in a motorsports family alongside his older brother, fellow NASCAR driver. Their father introduced both boys to racing mechanics early, and Kyle reportedly worked on cars before he was even old enough to drive legally. By his teenage years, Busch was already viewed as a generational talent. He dominated local racing circuits and quickly climbed through NASCAR's developmental system. What separated Kyle from many drivers was pure raw speed. He could drive loose cars that others could barely control. His biggest achievement is not even debatable. Kyle Busch became a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, winning titles in 2015 and 2019. But honestly, his legacy goes beyond championships. Busch became the winningest driver across NASCAR's 3 national series. Week after week, year after year, he delivered victories in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series. His aggressive style earned him the nickname Rowdy, and his fan base proudly called itself Rowdy Nation. What made Kyle Busch different was that he never tried to be universally loved. He embraced the villain role when necessary. He argued with drivers, challenged reporters, and showed emotion in an era where many athletes became overly media-trained. That authenticity made him one of the sport's most compelling personalities. Away from the racetrack, Busch was deeply devoted to his family. He was married to, who became widely known among NASCAR fans who were public support of Kyle and their advocacy work related to infertility awareness. Together, they shared 2 children and often posted family moments online that showed a much softer side of the hard-driving racer. For longtime fans, one of the emotional parts of the story is remembering how much Busch changed over the years. Early in his career, he was viewed as reckless and hot-headed. Later, he matured into a veteran mentor, team owner, husband, and father while still remaining fiercely competitive. Even in recent seasons, despite struggles at Richard Childress Racing, many fans still believe Kyle Busch had another major comeback left in him. Just weeks ago, discussions around his 2026 future and possible team changes were still dominating NASCAR conversations. Instead, the racing world is now mourning a legend. My personal opinion is that Kyle Busch represented something NASCAR desperately needed: personality. Sports become boring when every athlete sounds identical. Busch gave fans emotion. He gave them controversy. He gave them unforgettable rivalries and iconic moments. And most importantly, he backed it up with incredible talent. You did not have to cheer for Kyle Busch to appreciate his greatness. NASCAR has lost champions before, but this one feels especially painful because Busch was still active, still competing, and still part of the sport's weekly storylines. Fans expected to debate his playoff chances, not mourn his death. Tonight, tributes are pouring in from drivers, teams, analysts, and fans across the motorsports world as they remember one of the greatest talents NASCAR has ever seen. Rest in peace, Kyle Busch.